You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We're going to rehash of the doughies, the diversity. We got likes being hidden, we got anti-sex feds, all that and much, much more here on the block. Greeno here from the Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's game. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to Starting Block for another week. You've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who spent the day watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie over and over and over again in honor of Donald Sutherland's passing. My co-captain Dame, how are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, boys, girls, blockheads, millions around the world, listenership. Yeah, no, Buffy the Vampire Slayer wasn't the one I thought of when I thought of Donald Sutherland. There's a spy movie that came out like 20 years ago, and I can't even remember the name of it, to be honest with you. I think it's named after this. It's named after a movie with Bruce Willis in it. It's the same, like The Jackal or something, but It's not that movie, but it's named something very similar. Anyway, there's a guy who looks like a terrorist, and Donald Sutherland is this guy's like handler and teaches him how to act like the terrorist so he can pretend to be the terrorist, basically.
Eye of the Needle?
No, it's something else. But yeah, that was one I thought of. Actually, just to correct you, I was much bigger fan of Buffy the TV show with your Sarah Michelle Gellar, Greeno. I don't even remember the Buffy movie, to be honest with you.
Had Christy Swanson and had Luke Perry of 90210 fame.
So I've heard. I don't think I've ever seen it though. I don't think I've ever.
It's worth a watch, man. It's worth a watch. It's pretty tacky. It's pretty cheesy, but it's definitely worth a watch.
See, that's funny that you bring up tacky, cheesy, and for you that's an endorsement. It's like I'm like, that's why I probably haven't watched it, man. And it's like, no, you should watch it. It's tacky, cheesy.
Yeah, I think we'll enjoy it. Check it out.
Yeah.
Damo, today was a historic day in Major League Baseball where for the first time ever, a Major League game was played at a historic field, Rickwood Field, where old Negro leagues used to be played. So
I was going to say, I've never heard of Rickwood Field, but it sounds like a guy's name. Like, it sounds like Rick Wood owns the field, you know? So
yeah, I think it was. I think it was Rick something Wood who actually owned it, which is kind of literally the name of the ground. Yeah. But Major League Baseball, the last couple of years, they've been doing these kind of like one-off games. So they did one in the Field of Dreams field the last couple of years, which is really good. And this year they're like, let's go to a historic field and kind of play, like we'll redo the stadium up and we're going to do like a thing and do like a real 1950s presentation of it and all those kind of things and celebrate the Negro leagues and whatnot and the ball players that played there, which is like great, fantastic. Yeah. So was looking forward to my Giants were playing. So I was always going to tune in, but nonetheless, always like checking it out. But Fox did like a big pre-show where they got in like a lot of like former African American.
Yeah, like a lot of pre-show wank.
So much pre-show wank that there was carpal tunnel like pretty quickly.
Vice grips all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Calluses, I could see them inside the 4D camera.
To steal a line from Bill Hicks, he was cutting powdered milk.
Yeah, exactly. So the pre-show had who's who. You had your Barry Bonds, you had your Karen Griffey Jr., you had all these like stars of yesteryear to come and talk about how great it was to, be celebrating the Negro Leagues, and they had former players that had associations with the Negro Leagues, and they were talking up how great it was and the history. Okay. And then Fox got Reggie Jackson on.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And let's remember, this is meant to be a celebration of the Negro Leagues. And I'm going to give fucking Reggie a nice Gary before we play this clip. And the reason we're going to give him a nice Gary is because Reggie was having no part of pre-show wank. He's sitting there going, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, let me see the clip then. Let's have the clip.
Reggie, the baton has been passed for over a century here. We've been talking earlier about if it wasn't for the Willie Mays, the Jackie Robinson, the Reggie Jacksons, the three of us wouldn't have an opportunity to play. How emotional is it for you to come back to a play that you played with one of the greatest teams around?
How good was it, Reggie?
Alex, when people ask me a question like that, it's like coming back here is not easy. The racism that I played here, when I played here.
Wait for it.
The difficult.
First of all, I just like to. He just assumed, how good is it to be here? How much are you loving this?
No,
I'm not really loving it, actually.
That's what they've done with every other guest. It was like, how great is this? And everyone's like, it's amazing to be in this historic park where Willie Mays played, blah, 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 blah. Reggie's like, no, hang on. Let's talk some truth.
Going through different places where we traveled. Fortunately, I had a manager and I had players on the team that helped me get through it. But I wouldn't wish it on anybody. People said to me today, I spoke, and they said, you think you're a better person, you think you won when you played here in Concord. I said, I would never want to do it again. I walked into restaurants and they would point at me and said, can't eat here.
This is live TV. This wasn't beat in when it was live TV, I believe. So this is like, or maybe it was on 5-second delay. But
all right.
He's gone 80s Eddie Murphy on us, which is beautiful.
And you know what? They're going to have to come out. This is beautiful because Fox Sports going to have to come out and make a statement. What's his name again? Jackson.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson. They're going to have to come out and make a statement next week, and it's going to be, Fox Sports really appreciates Reggie Jackson. He's the role that he plays in diverse communities cannot be understated. blah 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 blah. And then they're going to say, unfortunately, Reggie will no longer be appearing on Fox Sports. We've decided to part ways amicably.
Reggie's a special guest, so Reggie gives no fucks. He's there for the day.
Well, see, that's why he'll never be back, because if you drop the N-word in a live broadcast that's supposed to be celebrating, that nigga's not allowed to eat here. Nice,
Gary!
Oh, that's good.
I would go to a hotel and they say the can't stay here. We went to Charlie Finley's country club for a welcome home dinner, and they pointed me out with the N-word. He can't come in here.
But does he have his now? That's okay. That's fair enough. No one should have to go through that. But does he have his own candy bar? What's this here?
He does. So this is from 1970s when he signed with the New York Yankees. Yeah. He said, I'm so famous, they're going to give me a candy bar. So they went and created a candy bar for Reggie Jackson. That's how famous he was.
Right. Okay.
And he's bought a box of Reggie candy bars that have been around for 50 years. Those things are out of date. They're the leftovers. Give them to A-Rod. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is good, though, because now he doesn't have to go to the restaurant. See? So
exactly.
Got a box of chocolates around, so that's good.
Just in case they won't let him in.
He pointed me out with the N-word. He can't.
So you can't refer to it as the N-word if you've already said the N-word three times. You may as well just keep going, keep firing.
Here's what I imagine happened. Yeah. He's gone, that nigga can't eat here. That nigga can't sleep here. And the producer's gone, Reggie, you can't say the word nigga on TV.
Someone behind the camera is going, no, very comically overstated, shaking their head, no.
100%. And at that point, Reggie's like, sorry, forgot about that. Stop saying nigga. All right.
Come in here. Finley marched the whole team out. Finally, they let me in there. He said, we're going to go to the diner and eat hamburgers.
You can see A-Rod looking at the producer there going, what do I do? Yeah. Do you let me go? Do I let him keep talking? Or And when they go to the wide shot, wait till they go to the wide shot and you see kind of the host.
Okay.
And just the awkwardness it gets eventually,
Fortunately, I had a manager, Johnny McNamara, that if I couldn't eat in the place, nobody would eat. We'd get food to travel. If I couldn't stay in a hotel, they'd drive to the next hotel and find a place where I could stay. Had it not been for Raleigh Fingers, Johnny McNamara, Dave Duncan, Joe and Sharon Rudy, I slept on their couch 3-4 nights a week for about a month and a half. Finally, they...
Okay, look, I was thinking a couple of years, but a month and a half, it's like, they don't need a shout out for that. Someone stays on your couch for a month and a half if they're a mate of yours or, an exciting baseball prospect, and it's like, no, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm going to rock up on your couch one day.
Yeah.
And see how quickly I wear out my welcome. I need to give you a thanks.
I've had friends stay here that long at different times,
But pre-planned, I'd imagine.
No, one was pretty out of the blue. And
okay.
That was a while. So,
I reckon he deserves to give you a shout out, though. If he ever went on national TV
Reggie,
and called someone a nigger,
Reggie, you can always stay on my couch, brother, if you want.
Reggie, you're welcome.
Man. Yeah.
Open door policy here.
Fuck yeah.
That they would burn.
Just if you do take anything out of the fridge, please do replace it. Someone's probably put that on an ingredient list or something. So just because you see ham in there doesn't mean you can go have at it. Make sure you bring some ham, fruit, and vegetables. You'll have to provide your own. Just keep them in a separate little bag in there if you could.
So we quickly leave it there before we start playing. So at this point, obviously the producer's like, all right, we've got Reggie's here. Stop saying the M-word. We're all good. Reggie now is on the straight and narrow.
We're coming back here. We're going to bring
it back. We're going to bring it back to pre-match wank. This is going to be good. Reggie's going to tell a lovely tale of his good old times back in the Negro League. So let's see how Reggie ends his 3-minute interview.
Okay. Turn our apartment complex down unless I got out. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. The year I came here, Bull Connor was the sheriff the year before. And they took minor league baseball out of here because in 1963, the Klan murdered 4 black girls, children, in 11, 12, 14 years old.
Okay, Reggie Jackson, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Nice chocolates.
They were from the Klan. Life magazine did a story on them like they were being honored. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. At the same time, had it not been for my white friends,
You can see the guy on the
had
left.
it not been
He's like,
for a white
he's like
manager,
trying to find a way to interrupt. Like go back maybe about 15 seconds. Watch the guy on the left try and get the mic to his mouth.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, thanks, Reggie.
You know,
his producer's going, he's talking about the Klan and killing 14-year-old girls. Get him off, cut him off.
what he's doing there is the TV equivalent, as I just rock it back and forward to really accentuate it. What he's doing there is the TV equivalent of when you go in for a handshake with someone and they don't return, like they don't notice that you're going for the handshake. You try to pull it back, like all cool and shit. He hasn't pulled it off. We all know you went to shake Reggie's hand, man, like you know, verbally, but wasn't to be.
Been for my white friends.
See, now he's putting it back
Had
down
it not
again. He's like,
been
oh,
for
okay,
a
I guess
white
he's still
manager,
going.
And Rudy, Fingers, and Duncan, and Lee Myers, I would have never made it. I was too physically violent. I was ready to physically fight some. I'd have got killed here because I'd have beat someone's ass.
What?
And you'd have saw me in an oak tree somewhere.
Nice, Gary! At that point, they're like, I do not care. He's talking about getting hung in an oak tree. Get him off.
Look at the guy on the right. He's fucking...
doesn't know what to do. And then have a look. A-Rod is the most phony person in the history of any kind of sport, right? Yeah. Have a look at how A-Rod ends this interview.
Okay. Reggie, I can't even imagine. It's awful you had to go through that, but appreciate you sharing the rawness and the honesty of it.
Don't make it gay. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, he was just telling a story, right? He was just trying to give you a little balance. And now you're trying to hero worship him but that's probably the last fucking thing he wants. You just what you're supposed to do at that point. You don't need to affirm anything. People have already made their decisions, you know. So don't make it fucking weird and awkward. Just go, wow, Reggie, thanks for that, man. All right, let's cut to a break. You know, let it settle. You don't have to add on top. This is the thing I hate most about TV hosts. I always feel like they have to add a little sprinkle on top of everything. You know.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, just leave the moment as it was. I reckon the best move they could have done, the biggest dick move the host could have done would have been to stare straight down the camera and go, whew, Reggie Jackson, everyone. All right, we'll be back after the break, you know, just end it there.
Yeah.
But he didn't see it.
With our audience, I mean, really, it's
really just so fucking good. I mean, thank you so much, Reggie. We feel so blessed that you have walked us through your experience. I just want to thank you so much. I mean, the children out there, the little boys and girls who are watching, it's like,
yeah.
Just say thanks, Reg. Good on you, bro.
I tell you how I know that's like everything that comes out of his mouth is full of shit. Every other player got interviewed for about 5 to 8 minutes. Yeah. Reggie got 3 minutes before they cut him off and said, "Oh, Reggie, thanks for the story, mate. Anyway, we'll be back. We're going to an extended break and we'll come back with Tom Verducci."
Yeah. So let's get back to some more rosy shit instead.
Yeah. So there we go. I want to give fucking absolute nice Gary Reggie Jackson there. He was having no part of the pre-match wank, telling the truth, kind of pointing out, going, this thing wasn't as good, you know. Let's be honest here. You know, there was the Klan. We had 14-year-olds dead, and I would have been hung in an oak tree if I hadn't been held back. So well done there, Reggie Jackson. Nice, Gary.
Greeno, speaking of being hung, we've often spoken about the Olympics and the real game at the Olympics. It's not swimming, it's not the running, it's not shooting, it's the fornication that occurs afterwards.
The Olympic fuckfest.
The Olympic fuckfest that is a tradition for these kids because
part.
Well, a lot of them are in athletics. Isn't like footy or basketball. There's really no kind of top class 38-year-old swimmers. You know what I mean? It's there's no real top class 38-year-old fucking Olympic athletes necessarily as a per capita. Although if you're a goalie in football, you can get away with it, for example. In cricket, you can probably,
you're a shooter. Yeah, you're solid.
Other sports have a longer lifespan, and they also pay you handsomely to do those sports as well.
That's the key thing. The cachitos.
Yeah. So Olympic athletes, unless you are somebody who's some kind of a good-looking guy or a good-looking chick. You present well in front of the camera, you might get a sponsorship or two, but other than that, they're going to work most of the time. They're going to work, and then doing that. So, and a lot of them have been doing this, these kind of heroic hardcore, just training 7 days a week, training, diet, all through their teenage years, missing out on like all the fun stuff that you can do when you're a teenager. You get to like 18, 19, and it's like, okay, I'm in the Olympic Games. This thing I've been working for 4 years, probably for 10 years to get the chance to come here. And it's been training for 4 years, and we're here, and it's good and sweet, and we've got our race on the weekend. And then you go to this race that you've been building up to your whole life, and you swim in the heat, and you fucking get knocked out, Greeno. First race of the Olympics. You're done. You're out of there.
4 years wasted. Didn't go to a party. Didn't have a drink. Was checking my body fat every second day. Yeah. It was, nothing but Uncle Toby's muesli bars day in, day out. So
here you are as a young athlete. You have paid for accommodation, custom built, in a different part of the world, and you've got like another 2 weeks to kill. So what are you going to do? And a lot of them get on the deck, Greeno. It's a well-known thing. It's the Olympics fuckfest, and it's like, hey, how else? What better way to release?
Yep. And not even that. You've got you sit there and you've got thousands of young, fit, attractive people. Not even attractive. It doesn't matter.
No, they don't have to be attractive.
They don't care if they're guys. Maybe the shot putters are going to be a bit hard done by in the Olympic Village. But aside from that,
but they'll get with the other shot putters. You see, that's the beauty of it, Greeno. Yeah.
Or the shooters. Yeah. There's someone for everyone. It's basically like what's one of those dating apps?
Tinder.
It's like Tinder. But Olympic style.
And you know that they're going, after this 2 week period, they're going back to their country, you're going back to your country, and it's fucking up. You never see each other again, So that's it. Good luck to them. But apparently the non-athletics community, the naysayers out there, Greeno, they think that they've put a stop to this. Daily anti-sex beds installed inside every athlete's room for the Paris Olympics 2024.
Nice, Gary!
I had a few questions. I had a few questions when you said this one through to me. Now, firstly, what exactly is an anti-sex bed? Because in theory, any bed is a sex bed.
Yeah.
Right? No, the only way it is if like the bed, the only way to lay in the bed is it has like a chastity belt situation that goes over the genitals. That might make it an anti-sex bed, perhaps.
I think
maybe you spread, like every bed is spread with some VD as like a deterrent of like where you can hop in.
Then you wouldn't get in the bed at all, though, would you?
Yeah, no, but you're also not going to have sex in the bed.
It's an anti-sleeping bed too at that point.
Yeah. Exactly. That's an option. But I'm intrigued as to what an anti-sex bed is.
Well, Greeno, it's interesting that story has prompted a reply story. This is from France 24. Quote the headline: Paris Olympics organisers deny beds for athletes are, quote, anti-sex.
Nice!
So they've actually had to come out and counter this apparent dangerous misinformation. But here's the thing.
The athletes were going to protest.
Well, someone was. They may be made of cardboard, but the beds at the Athletes Village for this year's Paris Olympics, see, you were dancing around all of the potential failings of this bed without checking out the structure of it, Greeno.
I did not think about the structure. Yeah. So, if you want to get
laid out a tissue paper so they start banging.
If you want to get it up into a bit of old-fashioned rumpity-pumpity, you can't be doing it on a cardboard box with a bit of a sheet on top. So fair call.
You can't even masturbate vigorously on that bed because if you get too into it, that thing is you're just gonna hit the floor, and so they'll be replacing a lot of beds during the Olympic Games. Then, if that's the case,
I'd also be a little concerned to break a hard fart as well. To test the structure on that one. Avoid the burritos, kids.
And cardboard is really porous, so if you do like let a massive one go in the middle of the night, it's probably going to lock in the cardboard, and you'll just be stuck with the smell. It'll be like you shit the cardboard bed,
Yeah, and look, let's say for argument's sake, let's say that maybe you've got two young gymnasts that are fucking on this bed, right? Yeah. And they're quite light because they can't be more than like 45 kilo to do the apparatus. So maybe they can get away with a bit of action there on the cardboard bed. Then you've got a liquid issue.
Yes.
To go into the cardboard that then turns it into a different problem. So that's another thing to consideration.
I guess you could just flip the piece of cardboard over. And they wouldn't
but then once again, is it going to crust up? Is it going to take away the structural integrity
of the cardboard? Yeah.
These are concerns that I definitely have. So these are 100% an anti-sex bed. With that said, how many hot young 20-year-olds are fucking a bed anyway?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I genuinely wouldn't know. what
I'm
they're
going to
doing.
say slim to none. You've got young, flexible people there. Any kind of apparatus is an opportunity to fornicate on. So I think the young ones will be okay.
Okay, fair
They'll
enough.
be okay, even with the anti-sex.
Nice, Gary.
Well, I tell you what, the young ones weren't okay with this, Greeno. This is a little story that happened after last week's game, Brisbane
Okay.
Lions, maybe a couple of weeks ago now. I think this is fantastic. From news.com.au on the Twitter, Greeno. A furore has erupted. That's key. I want you to note that down, Greeno. It's a furore, which I think is above a stoush, honestly.
But you fucking cerebral, sir. That was my next question. Where does that fit on the stout furore meter?
It's definitely
is one
higher.
higher than other? You reckon furore's higher than a stoush?
Yeah, when I think of a furore, I think of a cartoon cloud with arms and legs just going in and out of it, like you would see like a huge rumble on a fucking Roadrunner cartoon or something, you know?
Yep.
That to me is a furore. A stoush is more like 2 or 3 people just grabbing their shirt going, what are you fucking doing? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
think
So
that's
this
more
is
of a
big.
stoush.
This is big.
Oh, this is huge, apparently. A furore, Greeno, has erupted. It's erupted, Greeno, brah, like a fucking volcano. A volcano of rage is flying out of people's mouths over, quote, a post-game kiss between a Star and a Channel 7 host with an AFL legend saying it's never happened before, Greeno.
Okay, so now let's say for argument's sake, I saw that headline and I did not see the picture there, okay? I would think he's gone in full tongue. He's gone and they've started like a filthy makeout session, tongues are waggling, it's like Cruel Intention style. Yeah. Unfortunately for the podcast listeners, this is not the case. It looks like there's a kiss on the cheek as they've come in, like, hey man, thanks for the kiss on the cheek, how you doing? Now, pretty safe to assume that these two have a friendly relationship outside of this particular moment. This is the kind of peck on the cheek that I give to your wife as we say hello, as we greet each other at any kind of catch up. Yeah. It's like, hey, how you doing? Kiss on the cheek.
It's all relative though, Greeno. In some parts of the world, I think you could probably get chucked off a building or something for doing something like this.
For doing this?
Yeah.
There we go.
Really disrespecting someone else's woman, you know. But so what I found interesting was...
no, that's an interesting point.
Is that what they're upset about? I don't know.
No, are you upset that I give the lady Boogs like a kiss on the cheek to say hello?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
someone out there probably would.
Someone. So if I did that to someone else's wife,
well, clearly, Greeno, a furore has erupted. Were you not listening? So obviously, people out there do not like the kiss on the cheek. Yeah,
mental note.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe he should be punished severely. I guess is what we're angling for here with this kind of reporting, is it not?
Yeah.
Furore's erupting, Greeno. They're baying for blood out there, Greeno, you would think. I went to the actual story that this tweet was linking and found a very different, kind of vibe. Quote, never seen it before. Post-game kiss raises eyebrows. We've gone from a furore to an eyebrow raise.
And if we're putting that a raised eyebrows below a stoush.
Oh, it's well below a stoush. It's not even below. It's not even a disagreement. It's pre-disagreement. So
it's kind of like the Rock kind of situation with the people's eyebrow.
Yeah. You don't even have to get into a stoush or a disagreement or a furore if you raise an eyebrow, Greeno. You could just keep passing by and go, that was interesting, and then on your way. That's a raised eyebrow right there.
It's more of a confusion because it doesn't say it says raises eyebrows. So now we're talking 2 eyebrows.
Several.
So
that's just a surprised face, isn't it?
That's like that's more of a surprised face instead of like a huh. Like one eyebrow is a huh, and 2 eyebrows are oh. Right. So they're the variances in the raising of the eyebrows.
Okay, let's have a little look at the video here, see what we've got.
Really, I've got full faith in this.
Expectation still to contend?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got full faith in this group that we can go all the way, and we're still a long way off it, but it's a long season.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thanks, Abs. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we spoke last week about how good the bond was, 38-10.
Okay. Well.
All right, so after seeing that very passionate kiss on the cheek there, I have a feeling that we need to start installing anti-sex microphones for these post-match interviews.
I hope they put some angry Twitter replies in here because that's my
here we go.
part
You
of
the first line.
Yep.
What I said. The pair of friends off the field.
Nice, Gary.
So I guess what's the furore then? That they were too personal or something after a game? Or is it no, this is sexist because he's kissing a woman who's unsuspecting. I suspect that's the problem. People would be out there not knowing that they are friends.
Okay, well, in that case, no, but have a look at where her hand is.
Yeah, she's
pulling him
embracing.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pulling him in for a kiss.
Yeah, I mean, if you're friends already, it would be hard. It's hard to kind of switch that off, I imagine.
Yeah,
So,
like imagine if you with a friend, you normally give them a kiss on the cheek when you say hello or goodbye.
yeah, of course.
And then you do the post-match interview and you just kind of walk off. You'd be getting a message going, "Hey man, what the fuck?" Like you just walked off.
Yeah, no.
And say bye. What's going on there?
Despite
a
this,
hot topic of conversation.
Oh yeah, there was a furor erupting, Greeno.
Get the fuck out of here.
Despite this, the seemingly innocent, like that's what you would say about a guy who hasn't been proven to be a pedophile yet, but you're not sure.
Yeah.
He's only seemingly innocent, you know. I'm just not sure about this guy. Exchange happens to have rubbed some commentators the wrong way. It's why it was a hot topic of conversation on 3AW on Saturday, with AFL icon Lee Matthews addressing the drama. Oh, old Lee's getting back into it again. Matthews, widely regarded as the greatest player the sport has known, now sits on the Lions board of directors and famously coached the club to 3 premierships. Matthews said, "You assume they must know each other very well." Well, he nailed it before he even...
Nice, Gary!
Okay, yep, that's right. You assumed correctly. Well done. Well done.
What do they say about assumptions? They make an ass out of you and me, Lee?
Apparently. Because normally you only give a kiss on the cheek to someone you know quite well. Otherwise, you shake their hands.
I have never shaken a woman's hand.
Listen, he continues, "I would shake the hands of a woman I don't know very well. The kiss on the cheek is normally for someone you know very well. I don't know how well they know each other. I assume they know each other very well. Otherwise, it's a highly unusual thing which we're talking about." This is the quote that this is a furore.
Furore. There's raised eyebrows. He may know her. If he does know her, it's okay. If he doesn't, I'd shake her hand. But I don't know. I'm assuming they know each other.
Oh, God. Veteran football journalist Greeno, Caroline Wilson. Yeah.
Nice,
She was the first person on the show to bring the subject. No, you're not. You don't say. Huh? Caro was the one to pull this one out again.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk that, Greeno?
But she had no issue with it, though, mate.
Of course not. To bring the subject up and said why she had no issue with it. Why do you think Lockie Neal kissed Abby Holmes last Friday night after the game, after the Bulldogs game? Is it the same if he'd shook hands with Cameron Ling? I saw it and had no issue with it at just the time. I'm struggling to see the furor here, Greeno.
Yeah, it's erupted though, Damo.
It's erupting out there. Maybe they're friends outside footy. Everyone keeps saying the same thing. I still don't know where the furor is. Here we go, Greeno. Here we go. Social commentator.
Nice, Gary!
So we've got a social commentator, Greeno.
Well, now I'm gonna look up what this Kate Hennypenny. What's her name?
Kate Halfpenny. Wrote in a provocative column for The Age. Oh, this is the kind of stuff that gets me out of bed in the morning.
Hey, Damo.
Yeah.
What do you think Kate Halfpenny looks like? What is one
bold
piece
frame
of garment?
glasses, Greeno?
Bold frame glasses, sir. Smack bang. Bold frame glasses. I know you love the bold frame glasses, and bang, you've nailed it again.
Yeah, it's not about loving the bold frame glasses or anything like. It's just a recognizable trait.
And she's the founder of her media company called Bad Mother Media.
Okay, Bad Mum Media. So mummy bloggers.
Nice, Gary!
Bold frame glasses.
Yeah,
and,
bold frame glasses.
Referred to as a social commentator, Greeno.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're doing
here we go.
Ticking every box here.
Exactly. Now, you got to crapping on about how Beck Judd had to swerve from Tony Jones' attempted smooch in 2016 after a last news bulletin. Now, I think that's a bit different. Obviously, they're not friends. The lady did not swerve away. Tony was going in for something inappropriate, obviously. Weird enough. Wait, the interaction was fast and not ick, but it was weird enough for my husband and I to say, wait, what? You guys...
Nice,
fucking suck the fun out of everything.
You guys... Firstly, they were not fucking watching this game. And if they were not watching the post-match interviews.
Maybe they watched that moment on Instagram later on and said, wait, what? Not watching that.
Exactly.
Look, I got nothing against you. You got your views, obviously, and that's fine. And you write articles and you're a commentator and stuff, which is great. Like, all the more power to you. That's fine. That's fantastic. But I feel like you're the kind of person who would, at the magic show, be going, I know how he does that trick, by the way. I know.
Yeah.
see that little rope there, and I'd be like, shut up, you're ruining it, man. Just chill out. It's fucking, I'll see that assistant hasn't really been cut in half. It's like, come on, what do you keep telling me these things for? I feel like it'd be that kind of person, that kind of vibe. You see that kiss and you're like, I don't know. Could be a power dynamic playing out here. It's like,
Nice, Gary.
It's like, don't tell me how he pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Let's just enjoy the show. Can we do that, please? So.
Now, they're asking for Kate Halfwit's opinion here. So I was just intrigued as to how popular Kate Halfwit is. Instagram followers. Half penny, sorry. Instagram followers, 2,056.
Oh, that's less than me.
That's less than you. Why aren't they asking? That's my point.
You got less followers than I do.
Why aren't they? And also,
why am I not a social commentator now? Then
she follows 2,000 people, so I think there's a bit of follow back action happening there too. But
I've got a good ratio from following to followers. It's a pretty decent. It's a nice one.
Yeah.
So when you see those 1-for-1s, you're always a bit like, How many of the people are committed to this cause, really? They're just following to get a follow back. So, that's interesting. But a social commentator, Greeno.
Social commentator. It's
so I've got a question for you. If a commentary falls in the woods and no one's around to read it, does it exist?
Let's hope not, because that's the only way we're getting rid of morons like this.
She might be a really nice, smart person. You can't say
he's got boyfriend glasses.
That doesn't necessarily denote that they're moronic. It's just a presentation trait of an ideology.
You don't think she's a moron? Let's read
I don't know if she is or not.
Let's read the last paragraph.
Okay.
Even if Holmes gave the kiss no second thought, networks and AFL clubs should give their troops a halftime speech. Kissing on air is out of bounds.
What?
It isn't.
During the halftime speech from the coach. By the way, guys, don't go out there and sexually assault anyone, okay?
Yeah, don't give anyone a kiss on the cheek, It's 2024 and on a 1970s Christmas party with a handsy boss handing out a brand of vinos.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Murmuring, the Prince Machiavelli smells great. So, that's no good.
All right, boys, listen up. I just want you to know that I believe in every single one of you. I know we're down now, but we know that we've put in the work. We know that we beat these guys 6 weeks ago. We came back in the second half. I know we can get it done tonight. So I want you, 3 things I want you to focus on for the second half, boys. Number 1, pressure. Got to keep our pressure up. I want you to be in their faces at all times. Every time they look up, I want to see our jumper coming at them. So pressure. Number 2, use the space. Make sure you get out there in that space. Make them run. Get them tired. And you'll run around them. Number 3, don't kiss the reporter after the game when you're doing the interview.
I cannot reiterate how important that is.
That's the most important one, boys. All right, 1, 2, 3. Nice guys, yeah.
I'm going to give you a hypothetical here, Damo.
Please.
Now, same situation. However, Lachie Neale kisses Lee Matthews post game.
Yeah.
Brave.
Tongues. He starts licking his mustache.
Is that brave? Is that like something that Pride Month after all?
It's true.
Is that we're celebrating instead of furores erupting and have multiple eyebrows being raised?
I think you know the answer to that actually. If we could one day coax an AFL player out of a gay AFL player out of the closet and then present them with the opportunity, a gay icon. Look here, by the way, tonight interviewing you is I don't know. I was trying to think of who's a gay icon, but I can't actually think of one because I was going to say we drafted in this famous gay person tonight. We'll just try and test them out, see if they do the kiss on the cheek, Greeno.
Yeah.
See if they're willing to yield or not, and then it would have to be on the cheek, boys. So don't get out of control. Obviously,
don't get out of control.
No
I've had that to the halftime speech. So ladies, no, but you want to kiss a bloke post game?
Yeah.
If you see James Brayshaw out there, feel free, go to the group.
Just give him a Roger.
You can probably get a reach around happening there, and we are all good. But no kisses on the cheek for the ladies, please.
Just imagine Brian Taylor. Wow, look at that.
What's
the package?
What's the bloke that he keeps the BE sends his clips for from time to time?
Ratio Fantasia.
I'd love to see a bit of him and Razio Fantasia post game kisses, gropes, whatever it may be.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Very wholesome.
Nice, Gary.
Very good.
Damo, if we can switch from that over to things that so we don't like that. But in some good news for Twitter, it doesn't matter what we like anymore. We can like whatever the fuck we want.
Why is that?
Thanks to Uncle Elon, because for some reason he's taken away our ability to look at other people's likes.
Oh, okay.
Now this was actually news to me. I didn't realize you could look up other people's likes. So well done. But someone kind of pointed out.
I knew that because I've read so many stories where they've actually pinned people because of what they've liked on Twitter. So if you're a target of, you don't see it actually as much these days as you used to, but there used to be like a kind of constant social media witch hunt that was going on. And if you upset the wrong person, then they had these kind of weird little back channel groups that they could mobilize, you know, some people to go out there and just mass report your stuff and complain and blah, blah, blah. And they just get rid of you. They just snap you overnight, you know. So that doesn't seem to happen as much anymore. But one of the ways that they would get people is by looking at their likes. And then it's like, oh, I see here he likes a lot of neo-Nazi jokes and he likes this. He's liking this person. He likes Alex Jones. You know, he likes that. And that's how they kind of typecast you. And they're like, yeah, we can get rid of this person. You know, it makes sense to fuck them off. So, yeah, okay. Nice one. Nice, Gary.
And that's all good. But people were like, well, why would Elon introduce this? This is kind of a weird one. And then people started posting things that Elon had liked before he took away the likes button, like things below. Milk your tiny penis, pervert. I don't know what's going on there.
Unfortunately, it is a fake, Greeno.
It is a fake. It is.
Nice, Gary.
But it would have been nice if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
Well, if it, you know, we've had Australian politicians get caught with stuff like that before, so
it happens.
It wouldn't even. I don't think it'd even be news these days. To be like, oh yeah, well, who doesn't like milking their tiny penis every now and then, Greeno?
With the politicians, they keep on forgetting to switch their burners.
That's true. Yeah.
Burners,
but
boys.
it's okay. You just come out and say you were hacked.
Yeah, it's either hacked or
That's how you get away with it. Yeah.
How you do it. Sorry, mate, you were trying to switch over. We're talking about equality. That's what we're going to switch over to. So we've been big fans on this show. We've been talking about racial equality, sexual equality, equality in general.
Equality. We love it.
Equality.
Just big equality fans.
So I want to give a fucking nice Gary to the government this week.
Nice government.
For a proposal that was kind of put out there where, not our government, this is the New Zealand government, but fucking nice Gary to New Zealand, our brothers across the ditch, where they've decided, hey, wait, we need to do a few budget cuts here. What's that 56 mil? What's that one for? Oh, sir, that was we were going to top up some disabled workers because they're only getting paid a couple of bucks an hour because they can't really do anything. They're just kind of employed.
I know you're only kind of new to the politics scene, but is this the Jacinta Ardern's old Labor Party still? Like, have they had a new election yet? Or
yeah, they have. Yeah, 100%. They have a new election.
Okay, so this is the new guy coming in.
Yeah. Didn't they have a new guy, then a new guy or a new girl? Then they
Jacinta Ardern left, and I don't know if that government that she was with has been replaced or not. I'm not sure.
I think it has. Yeah, they've definitely had an election since then.
The previous Labor government. Yeah, okay, the previous Labor government. But is this a new Labor government?
Must be, I guess.
They haven't mentioned.
I don't even know what government we have.
Can someone tell us what the ruling government is? Labor deputy leader.
So no, that's predecessor. So that's out. I'll look it up.
Okay, please do.
Yeah, with me, caller.
It's very confusing.
Government in power. Let's have a squiz. What do we got here? How the government works? I don't even know how the government works.
Yep.
Here we go. Politics in New Zealand. Now I'm going to go into fucking Wikipedia for this.
Oh my God.
The National Party won the largest seat election following negotiation, formed a majority three-party coalition with the ACT and New Zealand First. So it's the National Party that's taken over from the Disabled Party, the Labour Party.
Nice, Gary.
There you go.
And the Labour Party's formed an official opposition to the National ACT/New Zealand First government. So three parties joined together to go up against the Labour Party and got up.
You got up. Well done.
Yeah,
that's good. That shows they're in favour of unity then and equality, doesn't it? It's like, no, everyone, let's all work together.
Where they could form a government, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably the reality. Yeah. So without knowing anything about politics, obviously. But I'm going to give these guys a fucking tip of the hat because they're going
frugal.
We're top. Why are we topping up these wages? Well, the disabled people, they don't really do much work. Like we bring them on, Make them like do a bit of
Fucking
mopping.
brutal. You're so fucking savage sometimes.
This is what's happening. We pay him a couple of
Look,
bucks
they
an
don't
hour.
really do much, you know?
They don't do much, and McDonald's is like, fucking, we'll pay him $2.
Yeah.
And the government, we top them up to $5 an hour, and fucking everyone wins.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, hang on, but how much work are they doing? Well, they're doing about $2.
We get to take a photo of them for our annual newsletter and say what a great community service we're doing by giving people a second chance at life or whatever the fuck, however we want to spin it.
They're saying
we get money in from the
everyone
government.
gets an opportunity.
We get free money from the government for doing it. So it's like, okay, great. And we can, we can put them on some kind of jobs. They can probably, move some stuff around here and there, and they can probably do some cleaning of some kind. I suspect, Greeno, something like that. So we'll keep you busy. All right. So,
Government's looked at that and gone, well, how much work are they doing? And it's like, well, sir, they're doing $2 worth. Well, why are we paying them $5? This is true equality. This is how the market should work. How much work do you do? I do $2 worth. Well, we'll pay him $2. How much you do? I do $7. How much you get now? $5. Pay him $7. Take the 3 off the disabled kid.
That's obviously the morally correct thing to do is take the $3 off the disabled kid and give it to the middle-aged white guy because clearly the middle-aged white guy is doing a better job. So it just makes sense.
Is he doing $8 worth of work? Yes. Yeah. Well, give him the $8 and give the person doing $2 worth of work the $2. That's equality, isn't it, Damo?
I mean, they can't complain. Have you tried upskilling instead of, dribbling? Have you tried doing something like that, mate? Fuck, your education is in your hands. You do realize that, don't you? You can be anything you want to be in this company. But right now, you're a $2 guy. So
$2 guy. You can work your way up to $3 in no time.
Nice, Gary.
Yeah, it's good. Well done. It's good leadership, Greeno, actually.
Very quality.
Strong leadership.
Yeah. Oh. In bad news, the $56 million went on the New Zealand politicians' travel allowance. Huh?
Well, those limos out back, they ain't free, Greeno.
They ain't free, mate. It's good. I'm a fan of this New Zealand. I'm over it.
I think that's what you'd call fiscal responsibility, Greeno, isn't it?
Exactly. Couple of weeks back, we talked about Zoe's for diversity. We went into a bit of a deep dive, and we're like, look, and I think our point at the end of that, we had there was for people who weren't listening a couple of weeks ago. Firstly, where the fuck were you? Secondly, there was a bunch of hooligans who happened to be doing donuts in the middle of a main street. Now, we were pointing out, one, it probably had nothing to do with the flag, or inverted commas flag, which is fucking bit of paint on the road.
No. Remember that? No, they called it a mural, Greeno. That was the sticking point. A mural.
Yeah, a bad zebra crossing.
Lines.
Yeah, it's a bunch of lines. We also pointed out that the best place to do doughies is on painted areas because it's
more slippery.
Soft. Yeah, it's slippery, so it allows the car to kind of whip around a bit quicker. And then we pointed out, going, look, by doing a news bulletin on it, all you're doing is asking people to come down and fuck up this road even more because they know they're going to get attention for it. And lo and behold, before I went to bed that night after the show, you'd already sent me this.
Yep. Adam Schwager, Greeno. Now, if you don't know who Adam Schwager is, don't worry. Nobody does. Adam Schwager, from his Twitter handle is Schwager TV, Greeno. He's a broadcast reporter for KHQ Local News and Cronkite ASU, Greeno. So he's a broadcast reporter. So they're the guys that when you flick to them, it's like, so live on the scene is Adam. It's like, hi, I'm down here at the police station, such and such, back to you. They're those guys. Right? So while he's filming this, though, and I'll quote, a group of 5 to 6 kids just started doing donuts and creating skid marks on the Pride mural. Again, they're referring to it as a mural. Right in front of me as we're reporting on 3 people getting arrested for doing the same thing last night, Greeno. So it is the same intersection that we watched. And this is the day after. And what did we say during the show? The first thing that the guy's probably going to do is going to go back to his other burnout friends and say, you know how we all love burnouts and doing burnout things. And they're like, yeah. You should go down to where the flag is and see the burnouts that I've done. Because that's what burnout guys do, Greeno. They like to brag and show off and return to the scene of the crime like serial killers and have a look at the burnouts that they're committing. So these guys are obviously like, hey, that's a pretty sick burnout. We can do them too on our little scooters here, Greeno. Let's have a look at the damage that's being done by these scooters. Okay.
Well, that seemed more like a wheelie than any kind of skiddies.
They're doing skid marks. There's a little skid mark.
There's a skiddy.
He
but
makes
that was,
sure.
that was, however, go back. That was actually over the non-painted bit where he did the skiddy, though.
It is too. Look at that. You're right. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was, and I don't actually think he intended a skiddy there. I think what happened, the back end slid out a little bit on the paint, and he got it back under control at the back end.
He just regained his momentum, Greeno.
Yeah.
But
So I saw more wheelie action than I did skiddy action.
But I want you to imagine the scene here live. So here's Adam Schwager.
Live
Greeno,
on the ground.
and he's there at the intersection. He's whipped the phone out, and he's got these, they look like 13, 14-year-olds, something like that. They're rolling around on these little sweet little scooter things.
Yeah.
Okay. This is all that's going on. And he's whipped the phone out, and he's filming them, Greeno. Okay. Not weird at all, bro. Not weird at all. He goes on. These kids also made skid marks up Howard Street, I'm guessing, right in front of Boo Radley's. So I'm not sure it was targeted at the mural.
Nice, Gary!
Or just, quote, general vandalism.
Which was our point. Which was our point originally, right?
Nice, Gary!
Oh,
doughy people are going to do doughies. It has nothing to do with the mural. It's not an anti-gay thing. It's not an anti-pride thing. It's just the fact they like doing big, buffy, blokey, meatheady things like big, fat doughies and skitties.
Great reply here from Andy No. The symbol is so revered, officials placed it on the ground on a public road, and prosecutors are seeking to punish those who leave tyre skid markings on the street.
Yeah.
Nice, Gary!
My question, if we can go back to the original report, I think my question, I'd like to do a report in response to Adam Schwager, is a single and obviously creepy man is standing around creepily watching two young children ride around on scooters and is recording them.
Yeah.
Has this guy been put on kind of like sex pest register or anything? Is he allowed within 15 feet of children? We need to check these things.
Just having a look at his little Twitter page here, Greeno, see if he's done any other narking recently. He seems like a bit of a narc, Greeno. Little dobbers wear nappies, wet ones too action. Marshall's speech was about PFAs. He's filming some guy having a speech here, having a ruckus, having a stoush, Greeno.
Furore erupted?
Yeah.
Raised eyebrows, perhaps?
Definitely raised eyebrows. Okay. Yeah, he's just a little local news guy. But well done, mate. As Charlie says in the chat, funny, he's the only one who's freaking out at the moment. So
people are on high alert, I can imagine.
Speaking of bad cops, Greeno, Royce Lopez tweeted this out a little while ago. In Polk County, Florida, the naked dude would be dead and Grady Judd would give you a medal for doing it. We've already balkanized ourselves. You just don't know it yet. So what the fuck is he referring to? Let's have a look at this replay.
You're saying in the state of Oregon, someone can walk up to your 2-year-old kid completely bare naked, and that's not a crime? Even if it's on your property?
Correct. Well, so it's trespassing, but what I'm saying is there's no laws against the actual nudity portion of it.
So you can
That's scary. America, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Don't you have a law against public nudity?
They don't. Apparently in Oregon, they don't. Apparently.
Really?
According to this cop.
Because in Australia, we can't do that shit.
Because I suspect what's happened here is some weird dude who's been completely naked has walked up to this guy's 2-year-old in their yard, and he's called the cops about it, and the cops are saying, yeah, we really can't do anything. Sorry, it's not really against the law to walk around butt naked.
Even if it's on your property?
Correct. Well, so it's trespassing, but what I'm saying is there's no laws against the actual nudity portion of it.
So you can
Why is he wearing gloves, Greeno, at this point in time?
Interesting. Because the
naked dude's still there. Yeah.
Expose yourself to children in Oregon.
Again, if you're not doing it for sexual gratification.
So that's the line. So you can expose yourself to 2-year-olds in a garden, but as long as you're not doing it for sexual pleasure, Greeno, then it's not a crime.
Good
That's good to know. Yeah.
Nice, Gary!
Obviously. Yeah.
Okay, public nudity in Oregon, where you can and cannot legally be naked in open.
Okay, this is interesting. Let's hear it.
All right. So
That's good that they give you a yes and a no column. Like, it's make it easy to follow. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently it's a bit of a complicated question. So there is actually nudity laws in Oregon. Easiest way to frolic in nude is to go to a nude beach. Oregon state law is actually pretty lenient on nudity. To be charged with public indecency, you need to be engaged in a sexual act or have the intent of arousing the sexual desire of a person or another person. But there's a catch. All local municipalities have the right to make their own laws regarding nudity. These laws outrank the statewide policy. There aren't many, but there are places in Oregon where you can legally be arrested for stripping down in public, most notably in Portland. So if he's in Portland, he's in trouble. If not, he had to be seeking sexual arousal.
Okay, seeking sexual arousal, Greeno.
Yeah. Or the gratification of somebody else. Yes, you are allowed to walk around in public naked.
On private property, this is where I live, and someone just came and exposed themselves to my 2-year-old boy. And this officer's saying that it's not a crime. So a naked person came up onto my property here, approached my 2-year-old kid, completely naked, which I ran over to him and covered his eyes so he wouldn't see. My obvious thought is to call 911 as someone's indecently
I say, I don't know about that. I wouldn't run over and cover it. If they've already seen it, then okay.
Yeah.
A naked body in of itself is, neither here nor there. Kids are naked a lot, obviously. They run around bare ass naked most of the time.
Kids are also a bit innocent to it. Like, my kids, if I forget to lock the shower door, have no problem just walking in and washing their hands.
They don't really understand privacy and stuff.
They don't understand that nudity aspect, and because obviously their mind isn't accustomed to like, hey, that's a sexual thing.
We got to learn that. Hey, that's cultural. That's all cultural.
Yeah, exactly. So
you
they're
have to
like,
absorb that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think the 2-year-old is probably not thinking anything of it. And old mate here, and no, I'm not saying it's right to probably expose yourself to fucking 2-year-old. What I'm saying is the kid itself probably didn't think anything of it because it's like, it's when I walk in and dad's in the shower. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm not thinking any of those things. I'm thinking my first instinct wouldn't be to run over and cover their eyes. It'd probably be to run over and smack the guy in the mouth. That might be the first, because then I solve the problem too.
Yeah.
But just taking him out of the fucking equation. It's like, okay, what naked guy? What are you talking about? I don't know.
He's not here.
Chuck him over the fence, over next door's fence into their yard.
Yeah, that was their problem.
Yeah, exactly. No, it wasn't. I didn't put it there, mate. It must have been there when you moved in.
exposing themselves to my child on my property.
Yeah.
At what point did this become a normal and acceptable thing to do? The cops will literally do nothing about it.
It's definitely not normal.
It's not normal. Accepted. It's not like this is like, hey, man, we've had fucking, he's catching up with his mates. Like, hey, man, you had the new dude come out and fucking get the dong out in front of the kid? Oh, yeah, mate, he's fucking here every Wednesday. It's not
we book him in, yeah.
It's a one-off stretch thing. For a dude's obviously a crackhead, and he's just...
Well, maybe if this news gets out, maybe there'll be more people doing it, Greeno. Never know. Oregon could become the nudist capital of the world.
It's widely accepted.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Hey, Guy, if you were concerned, look, if you're worried about weird naked men walking up to your 2-year-old on their property and not being handled by the police for it, then why did you move to Oregon? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you want to move to somewhere where they deal with those things appropriately, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere like, say, on, different countries, Greeno, around the world, you can't really get away with that kind of shit in some places. They don't tolerate that kind of crap, Greeno. No. They send the van over to collect you and you're never seen again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. So they deal with things differently. So, there's a fit for everyone. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe put some adequate fencing around your home, perhaps. Something where someone who might have the ball bag out can't get over.
I think you move all the people who want to walk around in front of 2-year-olds naked. I think you move all of them into the same suburb. And then they're all walking around naked, but there's no 2-year-olds. And they're like, well, what's the point of this? They probably put their pants on again,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you solve it. Let's pull them all together.
Fixer.
Yeah.
You know nothing about nudity. I know nothing about Oregon. Between us, we fixed it.
We fixed it. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Stuff.
We had anything left? I think that's it, isn't it?
That's it, brother.
Well done.
Nice
show. You think we'd have more than that, considering we've been 2 weeks without shows? But
That's
it shows
right.
how little effort we put in.
Jim's been putting a couple of things in the Discord, but we'll do them next show.
We'll put them in the rundown.
We'll do a Discord review.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. We're off again next week, and we'll see you guys in a fortnight.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell